Hello.
Oh, hello.
How are you today, Mr. Andrew?
I'm great.
Awesome. So yeah, here we are.
Here we are. How are you again?
Oh, there we go.
I already did this. Did I get
Um,
sound clean?
so yeah, happy Sunday, everyone. I'm here with Andrew. We're gonna color sectars and probably not talk much about sectars. But at this point, you
Yeah.
probably know the drill if you're here. Let's see. And hello, James. Congratulations. Thank you for being a member for 3 months. I appreciate you. Good morning, CJ. Welcome. CJ is also a member. We'll be getting to the olive things in just a second. And
Yeah.
really quick, good morning, Cassie Computer. I know they've changed your name, but I know that's you. Also, if you check out the shorts, I finally got that Scooter and Mr. Chip short up. So check it out. It's there. I've been promising you for like a year now. Finally got to it. Good morning, Ria. Lovely to see you. Welcome. It could have been worse. It could have been better, and I survived. So 2025 wasn't that bad.
It could have been 2026. Some
Yeah,
silver lining.
yeah, right. It wasn't as bad as I expected. It wasn't as good as I wished, but it wasn't terrible. So hopefully
Yeah.
your 2025 was good. Um, wait, no. Oh, yes, now. Sorry, guys. I'm a little distracted this morning. But we do have members, so you know what we have to do for members. Sorry, Andrew.
Bring out the olive. Bring out the olive. Bring out the olive.
Wait. And here we go.
And enough champagne to fill the Nile.
There we go. Thank you, Gal Gadot. We appreciate your effort to entertain the people.
We try.
We try, right?
We live and we learn.
I'm just a woman with 7 cats, and then 2 Hello Kitties. And yeah, so I do what I can. Have a great day. And make sure you check out that short. The whole time I was doing it, I was like, I can't wait for Cassie to see it. She's been asking for it forever. So yeah, see, Andrew, I tried to accommodate. I am working on but as you will see, I do have Gal Gadot. And I am working on something special for the olives using Gal Gadot here. So anyway, you guys will have that to look forward to once I figure it out.
Luckily, I'm busy coloring, so we're good. Yeah, I'm doing Dragon Flyer. I've already started him.
Oh, nice.
But it's funny. It's funny. I'm a Sectaurs mega fan, and then I actually sit down. I'm like, I don't know what color any of these things are.
Oh, right. I just looked it up. I've got they're still over in the stack to be opened. Those will probably be in the video, you guys, of everything Allison opened in January. We're working our way through.
We're like, it's a lot, kids.
Well, it was just all the strawberry shortcake stuff showed up right at the end of December. And I was like, I could open all of the lady action figures and then have to deal with that shelf. Or I can open all of the strawberry shortcake stuff and check out this kick-ass playset, coffee shop playset. And I was like,
which is
playset.
really cool.
Nothing says...
I've never seen that before. And then it's like it had and this is like primo packaging where it's all like it had the counter set up with like the individual forks. And I was like, damn, like they got some. Because I saw the thumbnail, I think it was, and I thought it was one of those like those egg things where it's like you open up and there's like like Fresca or like like AFC or whatever, and I was like, oh no, this is a full cafe. That's really cool. Actually.
Yeah, no. I mean, the egg things are the egg things. Let's see what's in this one. Oh, this one is this one I haven't made yet. I might, but this one is a dessert. It's the Master Chef version of the, because you need stuff for your cafes and restaurants. This one is the chocolate raspberry mousse. So that'll be fun. Yeah, I have, well, I just, now that I'm setting everything up, Strawberry Shortcake and her friends need stuff.
Places to hang and make desserts. I don't know what they do. Like,
well, for 40
good.
years, Strawberry Shortcake has made everything in Strawberry Land. So I'm gonna get a cafe and trick it out, and like I'm gonna customize some of the beater vintage dolls I have that are falling apart. I'm gonna reroute them and make little outfits. And Bitch Pudding will be working at the cafe.
Yeah,
So
it'd be a bitch. I had a bitch pudding one. Someone actually like customized the face, and we had to, it's just you just mismatch two. It's like lemon meringue and someone's hat basically. And it's
yeah,
like
and I've got an extra lemon meringue, and she has curly hair, but it'd be really easy to do. Sort of boil, do the quick dip in the boiling water and then straighten it out, and then just a new outfit.
that said, like strawberry shortcake's one of those ones, kind of like rainbow, maybe not less Rainbow Bright, but strawberry shortcake. They kind of like even the theme song sort of implies like they work the fields and then they have like little bakeries and shit. I'm just like,
Mhm.
what's like, is this child labor? And also like who's
But it only becomes that like in some of the reboots. Like so, obviously I'm working on a bunch of Strawberry Shortcake content.
obviously.
Obvious. I mean, if you're watching this channel, that's not something that as you're probably more surprised there hasn't been more Strawberry Shortcake content. You know, history stuff. It's coming, bitches. Uh,
You like it or not.
whether you like it or not, there will be one by the end of this month. You know, because I opened my Strawberry Shortcake Dip Dot set. One of them I opened. I've got two. Don't ask why I have two. Sometimes you just need two, you know?
Yep.
Anyone here
Well,
who collects...
that's the thing about the videos. Like you were doing like you're opening up like Annie fashions, and I'm like, why? And then you're like, oh damn, you've got like Annie's.
I've
like,
been collecting extra Annies for like 3 years now so that I can open those fashion. I've got, and here's the thing about the fashions. Those are the bad cards. I've got I had two sets. One set is to stay mint on card, and the other set was to open so I can just, because I have wanted that mansion since 1982. And that was a difficult Christmas, y'all. Like, you don't understand. It was hard that Christmas when I did not get that mansion. And that was the Christmas, for context, that was the Christmas my brother got Castle Grayskull, guys. And then I got, and you know what I got that Christmas? Malibu. No, just kidding.
Malibu.
Barbie. No, what I got that Christmas was
graceful elegance.
Yeah, right. That was the Christmas I got the Yoda Dagobah playset from Kenner Star Wars, which
I never watched Swamp Flick.
You know, and here's what I'm gonna say, of all the amazing playsets Kenner came up with, that's not one of them.
No. That was actually I was really disappointed by the Star Destroyer because I never saw it in stores ever.
Yeah.
But then when Return of the Jedi came out, they had a little booklet with like the whole like catalog. I was like, oh, and I saw it. I'm like, that's not a
if
Star
they had
Destroyer.
gotten me the Star Destroyer that year, I would have been okay with it because I want that playset. That's probably gonna be my big vintage pickup this year. Probably is that Darth Vader Star Destroyer. Because like I wanted it as a kid. I would sit at the toy store and I would look at the box for it, and it was really cool. In my opinion, like, and I get why people are underwhelmed by it. But anyway,
especially when you had the Falcon and you had like, and I didn't love it at the time, but I love the Rebel transport now because you're like, I have a capital ship that's also a carrier's it's great, like it's dumb, like, it's not my favorite ship, but I'm like, it's cool. And likewise, when they were mulling over doing the blockade runner for Power of the Force, I'm like, I would have killed for that thing. Like, you don't understand. Like, one of my favorite, the first thing you see on screen is that ship, and I'm like, I still want it so bad.
Really, that should have really been a playset in '79.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the Falcon. I mean, like, that was the original design for the Falcon, and then they were like, so you'd figure they would at least be kind of it would be on the table. There's like a Griebler something. He does like a 3D printed one that's like spectacular, but a little out of my price range and space range.
Yeah. Oh yeah, same. I look at all that 3D printed stuff. I'm like, oh my god, and I'm like, not only is it spendy, but then I'm also, like, I haven't even opened my Eternia or Fright Zone yet, and that's because literally it's all gonna go over here, and I still have mountains of boxes over there.
Yeah, it's
And I've got the other Castle Grayskull coming on Tuesday. We had that private convo about it where I'm like, was feeling sad that because I went in originally and canceled the order because I was like, well, you know, like it's a lot of money right now, right after the holidays. I need to tighten the purse strings a little, and where am I going to put it? It won't even get open probably for another 4 to 6 months. And I was talking about it at dinner on Friday, and Matt came in yesterday and was like, by the way, your Grayskull will be here on Tuesday. I
as
was
you
like,
complain.
oh, I know. And it's like that. I was like, I hope he didn't think I was hinting because I was not. I was just venting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm lucky I've not really been subjected to too many playtests lately, which is like partially by design.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are toys. I mean, one just came like literally like 2 minutes ago. I got like Wild Bill from the Reaction Plus line, which
All right.
I was expecting, but he's so cartoony. I love him. I love him. He's stupid. That line is kind of fun. It's not
Mm-hmm.
the quality is iffy, but that's a fun line, and I enjoy it. Where's my gray? Or what do they call this?
Well, if it's Canadian, it's probably Le Gray.
The Grizz.
I was
Grizzle.
speaking of Strawberry Shortcake. I was rewatching the first cartoon last night, the special from 1980, and I was like, so the snail really is named Escargot. One, the like snail
Yeah.
that carries them around so they can have picnics. And not only that, but he does in fact speak in a French accent. And it
Good
is
for
very
him.
much the same French accent I do. Like, oh, Miss Strawberry.
Strawberry.
It's
I was
funny.
confused with Strawberry Shortcake. I feel like they're kind of like the Get Along Gang in the sense that like and you can find it on YouTube, but there's a Get Along Gang series and it's maybe like 6, 7. It's not long. It's very short, but the
Yeah.
animation's great. The stories are precisely what you think they would be. But then they did like a direct-to-video movie, and it's like gorgeous
Yeah.
animation. The voices are different. It's like that's sort of like my headcanon. Like I'm very much like like the other series is Kathleen Kennedy, and this is like pure Lucas. Like it's that
Right.
kind of.
Well, and what's interesting, sort of, we got distracted there, obviously. With Strawberry Shortcake, like the whole thing about the sweatshop worker aspect of it is I've been digging into like that original cartoon. There was a storybook that came out in 1980 that has radically different art than the typical American Greetings card art, and that's what, of course, Kenner based the toy line on wisely. But what's interesting is they're referred to as the little strawberry people.
Are they strawberry people?
The little berry people, and it's sort of they move away from it, and sort of as the toy line continues and in the cartoons. But in the first, in that storybook, because I don't own a physical one, but I have a PDF of it. And even in the first cartoon, there's a scene where she's like crying because she thinks everyone forgot is having fun without her when they're really throwing her a surprise party. And that's why they've all abandoned her for the day. And she sits down and she's leaning against a matchbook and crying, and it's like bigger than her. So they're little people, and the storybook, that's also really evident. So the berries are giant because the berries are proper. So basically, they're the same size as the dolls. The dolls are what size Strawberry Shortcake and her friends are supposed to be, like 5.5 inches or whatever. So they're littles. And it was the first time that clicked for me because Muriel and I a few months ago were talking about. I was like, it's kind of weird, right? Like the Pie Man is kind of like a creeper.
Mm-hmm.
And all these little kids have these sweatshop jobs, and Muriel was like, I always thought that they were like little people, like like a little, like the littles.
Yeah, they should have probably
And I
lived
was
with that.
saying, and I think it just got lost as she became more popular. Like, but originally,
Yeah,
like, it's presented they're the same size as the dolls, so
well,
that's
that's like, I mean, Smurfs would do that. I mean, like the beginning of every episode, they were like 3 apples tall. Like, let's get like,
yeah,
let's make it known kind of thing. But I never even suspected. Like, not from. I just thought they. I mean, these are like
yeah,
if, barely toddlers. I mean, you could tell by the big like fat, gross arms that like I don't like kids. Like they're fat
yeah,
and gross.
right.
They've got these big bulbousy kind of like limbs. I'm like, these are like 2-year-olds with glorious wigs
Yeah,
in sweatshops, and that's sort of the same conceit as this has nothing to do with Sectaurs. The same
right.
conceit
I'm
as
so sorry, guys, that thought we would be.
yeah, I'll
What?
use Sectaurs fans to get down. The Cabbage Patch Kids, because I just sort of got one when I was a kid, and then I remember I read a storybook where they were like literally working in mines, and I was like, what is this? It's like this is a little bleaker than I expected.
And hello, Nolan. Welcome. We've officially arrived this morning, Andrew.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I don't. It's just I don't like it. It was surprising because like I never picked up on that as a kid. But I
No.
think also they sort of moved away from that as the toy line became bigger. You know, and she really was presented sort of as a little. It's around the time that the sweatshop of them worked. You know, suddenly she's a ballerina, and
Yeah, he starts focusing on like the fashion, the fancy, and that's where, that's
yeah,
Yuda against Shiro, where it's like the storybooks are like tutus and pizza parties, and then the cartoons like fighting
yeah,
for rebellion and stuff.
right.
It's just veering off in 2 different, wildly different directions. One more catered for boys, the other for girls, kind of thing. So
But
Strawberry
what's
Shortcake,
interesting about the strawberry shortcake though is it's when they start moving away from sort of the, let's call it the more fantasy side of it, where it's like they're little people and they grow the giant berries and they make the pies and it's sweet and it's fanciful, and suddenly it starts becoming about she's got this great giant house. And oh my God, look, they're going to a party and look at all the party dresses. It's about fashion. They have long hair now and know the Berrykins and they're growing up. Like that's whenever the toy line starts falling off. It's when they move away from like that core, the whimsy of it, and it starts becoming.
also even the story. I mean, granted, she kind of stuck around for quite a few years. Like, I mean, like she was a '70s property, and she was like
Mm,
well into the '80s. I mean, like she had that time to evolve. And this is before. I mean, it's after Star Wars, but this was before like He-Man, Transformers, G.I.
mm,
Joe kind of like set the stage for like this is your shared universe. This is, we
right.
are branded across all spectrums of consumer product, all that stuff. So like, she kind of lived before that expectation. So I mean, good
But
for
she
her.
was Strawberry Shortcake was created for that though. Like what happened was American Greetings, and you guys spoilers for the upcoming video. But American Greetings had all this success in the 70s with licensing Holly Hobby. And they're like, oh, we want to make more money like that. Let's specifically create some characters that we can merchandise.
Hmm.
And they went and found some existing ideas. Strawberry Shortcake was one of them. And they refined it because the original Strawberry, as you'll see in the video, was not what we eventually got. And she got really refined before she got to Kenner. But Strawberry Shortcake and her friends were all designed with the idea that they would sell toys, and I don't think there was no way to expect how big it would be. But they also hit Kenner when Kenner was flush with Star Wars money, because they negotiated all that in like '79.
That's
So
kind of because like that kind of like sort of Playmates cloud in the '90s where they're like, we do
yeah,
what we want. We got the cash.
and
Like,
Kenner basically took what they were doing with Star Wars and applied it to Strawberry Shortcake. So
yeah, I mean, like I said this before too, where like Kenner was like an engineering company that sold toys,
yeah,
and you could see that with, like the Strawberry Shortcake, like playsets and vehicles and all stuff too. Like it was like not like their '90s fare where it was like complex Beetlejuice kind of
mhm.
characters, but I mean like the vehicles were like this is spectacular. Like,
All right, but I mean, you've got the gazebo, you've got like the snail with the picnic, and like
mhm.
it sort of set the standard. Like
And and the cottage, which I talk about too often to strangers. Like I
Yeah.
do like too many like, little like some, and I'll just talk about the strawberry shortcake like summer home or cottage or whatever they call that thing. But I'm like, it's the eternity of the girls' aisle. Like that thing
Yeah.
was huge. It was massive. You could get like a full hot tub. Like it was awesome.
Well, apparently all of the stickers for the the cottage gazebo were drawn by Justine Danzer, who helps Mattel develop Princess of Power, because she worked on Strawberry Shortcake and Glamour Gals, and so yeah, no. Anyways, but it's a good segue into Sectaurs, because Sectaurs tried to take that model and it didn't quite land.
No, and the funny thing is like maybe they're just too big. I don't know what it was. Like I can't really grasp precisely what was the problem, but like it there was a problem. Um, because it wasn't like it wasn't the Brave Star, it wasn't the Visionaries where it's like you came out at a time when there was oversaturation, where like unless
Right.
you hit immediately like Thundercats or Ghostbusters did, like you had no shot. So like
Mm,
Sectaurs came out early, and maybe everyone was just sort of focused on He-Man, on G.I. Joe, on like they were, it was just too much for them to compete. But it was odd because like they just fell flat. But I also think they were too big. Like they were again that late '80s, let's make big figures kind of thing, and we were like, no, 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 no. Like,
well, I
and
think that
people like,
is. I mean, all 100. Like my brother had a lot of the figures. He had the Hive playset.
love.
But so
I mean,
to me, in my opinion, this is opinion, guys. This is not gospel, but this is my opinion as somebody who was there, somebody who had these toys in the house. There are two things. One, like they were fragile. Coleco did not use the best plastic for them.
yeah.
So there was that side of it. Like the wings, obviously, because
No, those wings would snap like if you looked at them wrong.
yeah,
Like,
and I mean, like the new ones that are coming out, they're offering the ability to buy the wings separately. So if you just want new wings for your vintage Sectars, you can get them.
I want that. I would at least Dragonflyer, but like the wing, it's so big, and I'm like, where's that gonna
Yeah,
go? Like, that's my
yeah.
first thought.
I
Man,
may
like
have
it's
I may have pre-ordered all of the Sectar stuff coming out, which that's future Allison problem. But I mean, at the price, it's hard to turn it down because the prices of those are really nice for what it is.
that's the
But
thing too. Like, the cell gets enough love lately because everyone's like, oh, Mezco or this or that. And I'm like, the cell's killing it. And again, with brands that aren't exactly like, you know, door busting popular, but I mean, they had Star Trek, which like, they had a bit of a kerfuffle
mhm,
recently on that where the first wave went horribly wrong in the factories. They're like, "Boop, not
right,
coming in January. We'll talk to you next month." But like, I mean, nevertheless, I have the Sectars. They're great. The
yeah,
plastic, they have janky knee joints. I hate those. But the I got the biker mice, which I have no attachment to, but I was like, I like a fun figure. They're
yeah,
great. Getting more of those. I've got Cowboys coming pretty soon, and I didn't plan to. And I saw reviews. I'm like, okay, like because I did a video. I don't know, maybe last year, maybe the year before, but I was like, am I a Cowboys fan? Pull on up and
right,
down, or yeah, like it just sort of crept up, and that's the problem. And I know the creator of Nacelles talked about this a lot too, where he's like, you work on these things, and then suddenly you're a fan, and suddenly you are
right,
tracking down all the toys, and this happened many
yeah.
times.
Well, so yeah, so they weren't the best. They broke a lot, and not just the wings, the figures themselves. The paint rubbed off really easy, and and that's kind of a problem because part of the appeal of them is sort of that sparkliness. And I will say Nacelle has resolved that because it's actually the plastic they're using, whereas the vintage it was just like a paint app. So once
Yeah, but
that
it was paint though too. 'Cause I mean, like that paint was, I don't know if it was paint or what, but it was like it would speckle off, and the illusion would be gone, kind of thing. But it was like but it was like this sort of like shading and sort of, I guess, ombre, if you will. Like it was gorgeous. Like it's something you would never really saw before. And I
and
was
it
like,
was
wow,
like
you can.
it was sort of like holographic, so like the light would hit it and it would sort of like change a little bit, like so there were sort of those. And then the other thing was they were a little bit more expensive than, say, He-Man. So it was an investment.
Yeah, which parents did not like.
They
So.
were not about, especially because so many people were so deep at the time, and like Star Wars was still winding down.
Mhm.
But you know, it's like if you've invested hundreds of dollars, you know, for He-Man and his friends, like suddenly this new toy line is out, and it's more expensive than He-Man, which makes it a little bit harder, you know, like to randomly grab a figure at the store. Which I think He-Man really benefited from that $4.99 price point. Like, it's really easy to sort of justify, oh, you know, grab little Timmy, you know, the new Motu because it's only $5 and it's going to shut him up in the car on the way home. Whereas Sectaurs are like $7 to $10 for a figure.
Yeah, and G.I. Joe too, where it's like, and like I
Yeah,
think that was the real model where it's like you could buy a figure for like $2, $3,
yeah,
and then for Christmas, birthday, Easter, you know,
you
your
get,
quinceanera, like you get like the vehicle or the playset or
yeah,
something bigger. Like there was a graduation element to it where it's like I can shut my kid up for $2, priceless,
yeah.
and
And then
then
what?
really shut up. Like we'll get him something like fancy, and it's like and it's a doorstopper. Like, I mean, you just walk it, you know, walk up to that tree Christmas morning, and you're like, the Terrordrome, yeah, like
Yeah.
it's a thing.
And then the kid, you have the play set, and then you get new figures through the year to sort of supplement whatever vehicles and play sets you're getting at the birthdays. You know, so it's an investment for the parents, but it's one that makes sense when you sort of look at, especially if your kids really play with this stuff, like, you know. So there's those to me those that's a big part of it. And then finally it's the size. Like they didn't scale with Motu. And
Yeah,
I think
that
that's a
was
pro, you know, that again, you're if you're wanting parents to invest in a toy line when they're already super deep into, say, He-Man, you make it the same scale. That way it
yeah.
can cross pollinate. Like kids can mix the Sectaurs with He-Man and vice versa. So that because then parents are going to be like, oh, well, this will match He-Man, so I can get a couple of these things, and then it builds out the He-Man brand. It just,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
not like,
like
you know, your uncles will get you like Sunman coming from like the
yeah,
discount store. It's Mr. Hey-Man. You're like, it's not, but tell me more.
well, you know, and that was where Wyla Eason was really smart with Sunman, was she made them match He-Man,
Like
so that
perfectly, yeah.
so that you could, if you were a parent, you know, you know, your son was concerned that, you know, like where are all the black people in He-Man? Spoiler alert, they're not here until
The very end.
Wyla started shipping. Like Clam Champ did not come out until like 2 years after Sunman. And you know Sunman chipped into some of that He-Man business. So that's how long it took them to react.
And same as
You know,
Vitassa. I mean, she was part of like that super rare wave where you're like, oh, like
yeah,
you got one. You both have the same color scheme, granted, but like they're both cool
yeah,
looking, and you got them in just under the wire, basically.
yeah, yeah. Like, way to go, Mattel. And it's really weird too, because Mattel was really on top of it with Black Barbie. Like there were Black Barbie options well before most companies were doing it. So it was just really odd that like
And
it
also,
took them so long.
and they were looking at the demographics because they were the ones who were like, girls love He-Man.
Yeah.
50% of the audience loves He-Man. That's why She-Ra came about. So I'm like, you're looking, like you see what's going on. So there's none of this like, oh,
Yeah.
we didn't know.
Well, you know, and Shira started out in the boys department as Leela, He-Man, Tila's twin sister, and then evolved, and then, you know, and they're all like the girls department stole her, and it's like, well, not precisely. Like the girls department have been trying to develop a girls action figure line for a while, and it kept getting passed over. So that's when they took, you know, like Leela and combined her, and she became She-Ra. Which I'm gonna say, like, smart decision because I really think She-Ra is more impactful than Tila's twin sister.
Yeah, when you make her like an equal to He-Man, it's already
Hmm.
baked in better versus like, oh, another subservient kind of thing, another
Yeah.
like secondary.
Well, and for a character like She-Ra to hit and to have the impact with girls they wanted, she has to be equal to He-Man, right?
Yeah, because that's the
She
play
has.
pattern. They're play acting on the playground or they're playing with a toy.
Yeah.
It's like you have to be like, "Ugh, She-Ra," like it's basically you're just having like another Tila in
Yeah, if
the
you're doing Tila's sister, you might as well just have Tila. Like
yeah, like you've already got her. Like you don't need a system. That's not gonna add anything.
that's how we got Ravishing Reporter April.
Like, I
Girls
got
play
her.
with turtles. I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna add one of those to my collection at some point. I need to.
I just got it and it's glorious. Like I still remember the day I saw it because I didn't see it on the back of cards. It just sort of appeared magically on the shelves one day, and I was
Yeah,
like, "What the hell is this?"
yeah. I remember
And then,
seeing her whenever I would take my brother to because it was during the time where I was too cool for toys.
of
I
course,
think I would still pick up like DC stuff. Like,
oh,
when Batman when Catwoman came out, I got Cat. I didn't get the Penguin because I already had I had the Superpowers Penguin still. It was like, oh, the days where it's like, I only need one of each character, guys.
yeah, I'm still that way where it's like every wave of especially Legends coming, they're like, "Here's your Iron Man, here's your Wolverine, here's your," and I'm like, I don't care. Like I truly
Yeah.
do not care about this like at all. Um, okay, little update. So doing Dragonfly first. Brad.
Oh, that looks really good. I like how blue it is. It's a
Keep
nice vibrant blue.
Now I'm kind of confused by his wings. We'll see
No.
about that.
So for the wings, do you have like a light chartreuse green?
Yes, kind of.
So
Yes.
let's see, do I have that?
I'm looking through images. There's yellow sometimes.
I did that picture before, so I didn't print that one out. Hold that one back up real quick.
Yep. Also, like Jargon's leg is like intersecting one of the wings, and I'm like, God damn
Yeah.
it.
So for the parts of him that are intersecting the wing, color them super light, like
Yeah.
super
Like
light, and
translucent.
then that way when you go over it with like, you're gonna want to use like a light green, like your lightest purple / lavender, like a pink, and a
Oh yeah.
lightish orange, and then if you sort of do them in layers. Let's see, really quick. I've got one with wings, so let's do a tutorial, guys.
Let's
Alright,
let's do.
I know, right? Oh my god, you guys. Alright, no, that's neon. That's yellow chartreuse. Let's see, where's my... Okay, so here's like this spring
The toy ones
green.
had like that iridescent kind of color, like back in the day, and
Mhm.
that's like there's no real iridescent paints as I've learned over the years. Like
Okay,
you can't.
so... No. Alright, let me hold that. So just really lightly, I put some light green in there.
Mhm.
I just had different intervals. And now... I need some pink. Here we go. This is just a regular pink. And you don't want to put the pink too close to the green because it'll get muddy and brownish because the two of them don't really blend well. But just sort of go in like, yeah, there we go. So just really lightly with the pink outside of where the green is. And then go in sort of with yellow, and then you just sort of do the yellow over everything.
Yeah, because that seems to be like even in like the cartoon and the storybooks I'm looking at, like that's kind of the
And
a lot
sort
of
of that
yellow.
will, and the yellow blends over the pink without it turning muddy, and then it sort of makes that lighter green a little bit more of a like neon almost. And then that's what it all looks like when you do that. So just the green and the pink and bands, and then yellow all over it, and then you'll get that. And then because you're using all those darker colors, it'll once you've sort of done the sky, do the sky like a darkish color, and then that way it'll make the effect more evident. So
Iridescent fly wings.
yeah, right.
And now we know.
Well, yeah, right. Well, and I do that a lot with sort of She-Ra because there's all the
Oh, yeah.
sort of shimmer fabrics and stuff. Well, I'm almost done with all of my pencil sets. Once I get the last of let's try these pencils, guys, and see if they suck. To get the last of those videos, I'm going to do a couple. Here's how you do sectar wings and stuff like that.
For
And
all the
do,
sectar.
yeah.
And that was part of the problem too. It's like I was looking at you sent me like the books that were there kind of. I was like, it was clearly like kind of like a storybook kind of coloring book. And I'm like,
Yeah, right. Yeah, all of them.
generic.
They were all through Marvel, so they're all like it was like the Visionaries I had sent you that time. Like it was all like actual stories. And I don't yet own a full Sectaurs coloring book. I've picked up some downloads of single pages where I buy all of my stuff. I try to through retro reprints. They just got Rose Petal Place, which was exciting because I didn't want to have to scan my Rose Petal Place coloring books. I hate scanning and cleaning it up. It's like a lot of work. So they have all the sectars. So I've actually requested, because they have them scanned, they just haven't sort of put them up for sale yet. But they've got all the sectars, and they've got Get Along Gang and some other stuff.
That's what I'm thinking too. Maybe we did Get Along Gang before, but I was like, I definitely want that at some point in the future.
Yeah, whenever they scan the Get Along Gang and they're up for sale, I'm gonna buy those. And then we'll have some scans and we'll do a Get Along Gang episode. And that will inspire me to open all of my Get Along Gang stuff, I'm sure.
They're one of the few toys that are like in my room. They're sort of in this little like kind of like shelf, kind of like off, hidden away kind of thing. But it's like it's that thing where like I wake up and I can kind of like see them, and I'm just like, I love you. And to get the villains and to get the magic rabbits was such a pain in the ass that I'm like, I love you so hard even more now. Because like,
oh my god, right? I was
like, I was like talking to people in the UK. I'm like, you have to send this to me. I will pay you. I will. You don't know what I'll do for these. Like, just put them in the mail. And they were like, no. And I was like, oh, I had to beg and scrape and steal and just on my.
People are the worst.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to give you money, and all you have to do is put it into a mailbox. And this is before like tariffs and stuff. Like it was pretty straightforward. Like I will pay the 2 like just put it in the box. Like,
so we understand you're sad because we've seen some of your cuisine, but please,
yeah, right. Please, like,
I'm
we
gonna
know he's been since 1987. I know, I get it. I used to live in Vancouver. I get it, but like, come on.
I try not to make like commentary on other people. I grew up in the South. Like people eat Nutri-Rat down there. I've tried Nutri-Rat, because they're like, here, try this, and you're like, okay, sure, and you're just like, ugh. It tastes like It tastes like what you would expect water rat meat to taste like.
Yeah, but like the British, like it's just the thing that I always hated is that, well, they have incredible bathtubs. They have like a human-sized bathtub. That's one thing I'll give them. But their food is like, there's nothing sweet for breakfast. Like nothing. It's all very like beige or whatever. Or it's like it's like the blood fart from a goose, and they fucking fry it up and throw it on a plate. And you're like, I don't want this.
For me, I mean, like my confusion is always, it's like they colonize half the world looking for spices, but yet don't use a single one. And when you talk about it, they refer to them as, you put chemicals onto your food. It's like, no, it's called salt and pepper.
Yeah, like my folks are very Scottish, and there's too much pepper on something they made, and like you would swear like it was like some like hallucinogenic, hot pepper. Like we're like, ah, it's too spicy. It's too spicy.
I cannot. Like, yeah. Like, I buy salted butter because, like you don't accidentally not eat, like, you just can't. And people are like, but what about cakes? It's like, you need a little salt in your cake, people.
Yeah, it does sort of like make things better. Also, it just makes everything better. And we're sort of from that generation too, where everything was diet. And I think like probably in the 80s, it was like we kind of went between fat and calories at
Yeah.
different points through the 80s. And so like one or the other was the villain, and sometimes both. So like you would, your parents would buy like Basil and like
Yeah.
weird chemical diet things that like weren't even technically food, and you're just like, dude, like, what are we doing here?
My favorite was
Wait,
I
let's
was
finish
one of
this.
the people who spent money buying Susan Powter's Stop the Insanity set, like in the 90s. Because I did. I lived on, like, oh, let me get the low fat, reduced calorie mayonnaise.
Means nothing. Nothing.
And, like she did that thing, she called it the fat formula. And it's where you take the fat calories times, I think, 7, and then you divide it by the calories. And it tells you how much of what you're eating is actually fat. So, like I would go around everything I ate. And so I was like, let's see how bad real mayonnaise is. And like real mayonnaise is 99.9% fat, right? And I was
Fair.
like, see. And I'm like, let me do my special expensive low fat mayonnaise. It was 97.5% fat.
Yeah.
And it tasted so sad. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to eat same amount of
Also,
calories. A
it's not even
few
food.
extra, a little extra fat, but I'm like, if I have the extra fat in the mayonnaise, I'm more full. So it was like, it's also, like, it's also about learning, like, it's okay to ingest fat. Carbs are not your enemy. It's too many carbs that are your enemy, and too much fat that's your enemy. Like, and if
Also, I
you
mean,
don't
like,
eat that stuff, oh, sorry.
I was talking to my doctor a bit about this too, where it's like he's sort of like less of this, more of this, and it's more like you keep it simple. There's really not
Yeah,
much to it. I mean, unless you're like bodybuilding, unless you're like going to the Olympics. I mean,
yeah,
sure, but, like, you're not with Susan, like you're just not. So it's a matter of like your caloric intake versus how much you exercise versus, and it's like he's
mhm,
like there's math and that and whatever, but it's like it's pretty simple actually, and that's the same as like I said jokingly one day I'm like really concerned about my gut biome and the toxins and all the stuff, and he's like, well, don't. There's nothing
yeah.
to it. It's just an industry created to charge you with money.
Well, it's
So
funny because like I used to fall for all of that, and then I went to an actual real nutritionist who like had gone to college and understood stuff, and like I'm like, well, I eat that to help my gut, like my gut health, and she started laughing. She was
yeah,
like,
like your liver does all that work. Don't worry about it.
well, and she
Like
was also like, we don't even understand any of that. She's like, so all these people who are selling you supplement, like apple cider gummy supplements and telling you to eat extra cabbage that's been pickled and don't eat this, it's bad for your gut health. She's like,
yeah,
we don't know. She's like, we understand so little about gut health. And she's like, everybody's gut is different. So it's like, like they're not
yeah, this
even working
yogurt.
on, yeah. So it's like, and she was just like, stop worrying about that. She's like, calories and fat and protein, like she's like, that's what you need to worry about, and then exercise. She's like, if you do those things, you can eat whatever you want. She's like, you can eat anything you want, you can't eat everything you want. And that is the most helpful diet plan I've ever been put on. Was like, you can eat anything you want, you can't eat everything.
Not everything, but I mean the things too.
In turn,
If you do work out super hard, you
yeah,
really can't eat everything. 'Cause, I mean, like there is, you certainly want, the protein, the this, that, and the other thing kind of thing.
yeah.
I mean, like truly, you are voraciously hungry. The amount of calories you do need to actually like build muscle is a lot, and it's like, cake is not exactly the way to get there, but at the same time too, you're like, have the damn cake because
But
you will eat anything when your
you know
body
what?
like shuts down because it's hungry. Eat it.
Yeah, when I worked at Blockbuster, I would eat like Wendy's every day or pizza or McDonald's, and I would eat candy and like I would eat constantly all day and never gained weight. I mean, like I was still chubby, so I wasn't losing weight, but like I ate all day, but I was on my feet all day. I had constant stacks of tapes that I'm running through the store and like I'm
Yep.
pulling tapes out of the box and I'm like running on my feet, checking people out for hours and running to the office to get money out of the safe and then running it back. And like maybe an hour of my day was spent sitting, in a 10 to 11 hour shift, and it's
Yep.
like, so I was able to eat anything because I'm on my feet for hours moving. And, now I sit on a desk and it's like,
Yeah, that'll do it.
that'll do, like spend 8 hours on the weekends filming coloring videos. Like, but,
That's where I don't know how you do it because I just built like not a complex Lego set. Like it was sort of like, the fancy, expensive adult ones, but it was little summer or little
mhm.
autumn vista kind of thing. It took like a night, maybe a bit. But I I told my chiropractor this about like while I was doing it, but I'm like, I'm just hunched over, shallow breaths, staring like full front, like my full face in it, and I'm like, this can't be good for me.
Yeah, well, I now that I'm over here for most of the filming, it's fine because it's higher, so I have to sort of be way more straight backed. There's not really as much hunch, which is was on purpose when I decided to keep this because this work table was here when we moved in. This was where she did all of her sewing and her crafting. Um,
And taking souls from children and putting them into dolls. Yeah.
Essentially,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Um,
that's what it is. Like, that'll be my retirement plan. Like,
right. So like so that's helped, but like I do at the end of like last weekend there was one day where I spent from like 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. at this table like filming stuff, so I could catch up and like right in here it was just
yeah, you like
it
kind of
was
push the shoulder back and you hear the crack and you're like, oh no, oh
yeah
no.
and it
It's
hurt.
like
So like
Mr. Kool-Aid man, like, oh no.
so
Um,
then I just go to bed, I take an ibuprofen and then I stretch it out like this and sort of sleep like this and hope Matt doesn't mind. But yeah, and like some when it's really some nights it is really bad, but um whatever.
is
The
what it is.
actual relaxation that I get from doing the 8 hours to however long is really important. Like
8 hours, Jesus.
yeah, when I'm filming stuff, like it's really easy to de-stress and just sort of focus on it.
I weirdly, and my personality type, I thought I would actually hate it more, but it's like when I'm filming the videos, I have fun because it's like I've already
Mhm.
sort of like I don't have a script clearly, but like I do have, here's the points I want to make. Here's like it's all a lot of it's memories. I've got some notes on years because like that's one thing I can never remember. But
Mhm.
it's fun because it's the week leading up to it, I'm sort of doing all the research and getting all the
Yeah.
points to put together, and I'm like, yeah, like, and it's just sort of like I'm just like having a conversation with the computer facing me, and I find that fun. And then like I just did that this morning with Ula, who's coming up very
Oh no.
soon, and I talked about it for a long time, like an absurdly long time. Like I've got to edit it down. It's too much, especially considering the subject matter is a little dark, actually.
Yeah, it really is actually.
Once you talk about it a little bit, you're like, oh, like this is what do the kids say? SA? Like it's
Yeah, it's the Space Epstein files, if you will. Um,
kinda, yeah. So, but I mean that said, I mean like that's kind of the well, not to say the fun of it, but I mean that is sort of the controversy. That is
right.
the 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 whole crux of it, and like why we haven't gotten too many figures of her at
Well, I have
all.
3 star. But yeah, I mean that's that's sort of I think that's part of overall, like as an adult collector, that's sort of the hard thing. Like to understand something like Star Wars, despite the strong adult collector market, the end of the day, Star Wars is still really intended for kids. Like, so
I
like
mean,
there's this weird line that they have to like tread with, like if we get an Ula at any point, say in vintage collect, like even
Power of the
Power
Force
of
was a
the
mail away. Like there was
He
a
was a mail
barrier
away
there.
through the fan club. Later, like in the 2000s, they repackaged that, I think, with like a Jabba set. But that was like $100 to $200 Jabba set. It was like massive. It had Jabba. It had a bunch of it wasn't a toy that kids were gonna get.
Yeah,
It
so
was
we always
out
had to put up.
shelf at Walmart because that's the only place Walmart could put it. And I think we forget that.
Yeah, so long as there's some sort of like, but I mean, again, too, like the HasLab would have been a great time to do that, and they were like, no. I'm like, okay, well,
Well, they
something's
were like
changed.
that for the Rancor, and it's like that Rancor. I don't.
Like that was the
Yeah.
time. It's sort of the same as when they were going to do like Madeline Pryor for the Ghost Rider car kind of thing, and it's like
Mhm.
you're not going to get Madeline Pryor on toy shelves. Like you're just not with that like.
Right, not in that particular outfit.
Yeah, so like you take your shot where you can.
Yeah, and I think, like the Tonica sisters are a perfect example. Like
Mhm.
everybody was like for years, like, well, it's not that they can't do them, they just don't want to do them. There are no rights issues. And it's like the rights issue is George Lucas has a grudge.
Yeah,
Like, the issue with the Tonica sisters was not that they couldn't do figures, it was that George
he didn't.
Lucas didn't want them because he was pissed. And people miss this, like there's the infamous story about where one of the Tonica sister actresses found the figure of herself from the Action Fleet collection.
This
And
was like God, 98, 99 probably. Like
it wasn't sooner because those were like 90. I had got mine in like 95, 96.
oh, I guess
Um,
this would have been pre-special edition. Yeah,
yeah, it
yeah.
was before the special edition, right? So she and her husband, I don't know, because she says otherwise now. Allegedly, her husband tried to shake George Lucas down for money because, oh, like I didn't sign my rights. He
Mhm.
can't make that. I'm not making anything off of this. And they tried to shake George Lucas down, which of course, like some of those
No.
Cantina drop-in people didn't actually sign rights away. And usually the way they get around that is you just have a very generic figure. You have the Tonica sister figure, and she doesn't look like either of them, right?
Yeah.
There are ways around that. However, because of the way she went about it, George Lucas just got pissed, and like he was just like, nope.
You get nothing. None of you
He
get
will
nothing.
never be a figure. They're always on the list. Um, Yeah, and that changed obviously because George isn't in charge anymore. And also, I'm going to assume that because it's it was part of the cantina, this is a way to do it where it's minimal and only one of the actresses is left. And she's, like was for years was like, oh no, that's not what happened. It's like, that's very much what happened back in the day. Like things have changed. You're not with that guy anymore or whatever. He's dead or whatever the situation was. It changed.
I'm
Or
telling you,
I think also she probably realized not having any action figure, yeah, you may not get rights, but that's something you can, buy up in bulk and then sell at your signings, and then you get extra money when you're charging people for your signature at a convention. Like,
well, that's it. I mean, like that's people will, that's of the many like people don't tend to buy photographs much anymore. Not that I can tell really. Like we see a little bit at the booths, like people will bring up like merch for the actor to sign,
mm,
and you're like,
well, I think with Star Wars, definitely not. Like, you're not gonna, unless it's Carrie Fisher or like the biggies. Then of course a signed picture is different. But if you were random
yeah,
Cantina alien number 17, you were one of the 3 people to wear the Greedo mask. Like, you need that action figure. That's what people are gonna want signed.
yeah. Like I don't have like a signed picture of like the Muftak actor, when you walk in
Mm,
my house,
yeah,
but
right.
Marina, you find Marina Sirtis, Counselor Goddamn Troy, real quick. Like she is proudly displayed in the home.
Yeah. Well, it's like, my goal when I go to the Motuniverse thing in May is I'm going to take a She-Ra figure and get Melindy Britt to sign the figure, right? Because to me that, especially for He-Man and She-Ra, I think that's way more important. If I were interested in owning animation cells, I would get her to sign one of those, but because it's figures for me. I think for most people who collect Star Wars, it's toys. Like, the toys are where the magic is for most Star Wars fans. I think. I could be wrong. I'm happy to be wrong. And hello, Todd C. Welcome. Lovely to see you today.
Yeah, I don't really. The only thing, yeah, like, I went to like Council Troy because I was like
Yeah.
a little lit up when I was at that convention. So I'm like, I'm gonna go see Council Troy, and then we had a great little chat. She told someone off for me. It was great. Loved her.
She's amazing.
She's a great actress because the thing is, once you meet her, you were like, you're nothing like the character, and not like the character's all that else, but I'm like, you are nothing like her
Well,
at all.
Counselor Troy is sort of a like, she's a good character, but she's a little bit of a puff toad. Like, she's very prim, she's very proper, she's very like.
There was a great scene where Riker called her aristocratic, and I was like, there it is. Like,
Yeah.
I've been waiting 5 years for. I'm like, there it is. I was waiting for someone to say it.
Yeah, like it's sort of that, like, right, like, and that's fine. Like, I think that works for I think it makes the character, and also you kind of have to have that attitude with the power set she has, right?
Yeah, and also it means she's like, it's not really, she can't be the gossip. It's not like sort of like a Dax situation from Deep Space Nine where she's like secretly an old man. Like she was very gossipy. She was like, she's like, I literally have like the Epstein files on my desk all the time.
Right. Well, and you can't just, yeah, like. And if you're not on Kirk's, Kirk isn't your captain. There's not really much to go. That's the one thing about the Next Generation. There was not as much alien banging happening on that, like Kirk.
Well,
Captain Kirk.
We always kind of joked watching that back in the 90s that like Troy and Riker were like, well, we can't be together, but we're gonna shag everybody we can, like every visiting dignitary, every male or female, guest of the week. We're gonna bang them, and we're gonna take score at the end of the year.
Oh gosh, it's true. I forget about that. I think it's because it wasn't Picard. Like, it just sort of hits different when it's like the other. It's not the captain of the ship.
Yeah, it's everybody else. You're like, you're sure, you're all young and dumb. I get it.
Picard had a weird thing for doctors, though.
They had that archaeologist chick, and they had Dr. Crusher and maybe Dr. Pulaski. I don't know. That was kind of a weird vibe.
Poor Pulaski. I felt bad for her. She came on Star Trek, everyone hated her. She was on LA Law, everyone hated her. And on LA Law, did you watch that show at all?
I did, but not very long.
Did you see how they killed her off on LA Law? She was having an affair with like one of the main characters, and she was sort of like the villain of the season. But she was a villain in the way where she was just very much about this is the way it should be. She wasn't like an Alexis villain. She was like a naggy. These are the rules.
These are like 70s feminist characters where it's like male writers writing feminism. Like that's not it.
She's a stickler for rules and us being a good law firm and not being reckless and
Yeah, what a bitch.
So anyway, at the end of it, she and the guy the partner she's having an affair with, they're going to leave leave for the day, and the elevator's open. And she steps onto the elevator, screams, and drops out of sight. The elevator didn't come down, so she dies, falling down an elevator shaft.
I do remember this, actually. I'm like, wait.
Oh, it was huge. Like, we watched that every week. And, like, when that happened, it was like, oh, my God, what just happened?
It's big. There's that Sex and the City one where the chick from third rock from the sun
Yeah.
falls out of a window. It's big that where I'm like, that's the last thing I
New
expected.
York parties are dead. New York nightlife is dead. We might as could you just die and then falls out the window.
To her death. Like,
It was such a
70
like,
stories. That was incredible.
that was such a good scene. Yeah, like that was a really good. That was the last TV season of Sex and the City, and that was just such a good season. Like, but yeah,
What's
no,
the?
it was very much that. Like, let's get rid of her this way.
I'm trying to
Yeah,
remember
it was huge. Like, anyway, like I think it's on YouTube. Everyone should go find it because it's one of those moments where like only on TV would it happen this way. But it
Yep.
just such a defining moment of like TV too. Like it was when LA Law. It was during the good time. I think it was right after Susan Day had left as well. Like Susan Day and Harry Hamlin left, and they were trying to.
They were the reason to watch it, and then they were gone. And I'm like, peace.
And it's interesting though, because like I said, we watched it until it went off the air, and what was interesting to me was the show actually got better when they left because like once they started digging into all of the other like Jimmy Smits like took off as a character after they left.
Yeah, he became the lead. Like,
Yeah, and and all the other characters started getting actually meaty storylines, and all of a sudden it was an ensemble. When they were there, it was like Susan Day and Harry Hamlin, and then when they left, it became an ensemble. So it's just two different shows. Like, but I preferred it once they left. And even as a Partridge Family girly, I'm glad Susan Day sort of retired because as an adult actress, there was not as much range as people want to pretend she had. Sorry, Susan Day, if you're watching this. But if you're watching this, I feel really bad because that is
when you find this,
your career is
you're like, come on now.
Come on, Susan Day.
Get
Come on, get happy. But she famously like retired and just went away completely at one point.
She was just like, that's enough of that. Well, especially, I mean, when you do like the kind of like that kind of work, probably more so soaps kind of thing, but it's like once you get that kind of money, you're like, I don't need this.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. She's sort of, like she was a child actress in the 60s and 70s, worked constantly her whole life, and then hit like 40 and was just like, I'm out.
Yeah, peace. I'm good.
I've saved my money.
Yeah, that was my plan, and it didn't work out at all.
It's like Christy McNichol. Like, she retired. She's like, it's too hard to. She also, though, was like, had bipolar, and she was just like, it's too hard to manage bipolar and working. So which is good, whenever it's a celebrity kid who didn't get screwed over by their parents and have all their money stolen, so that they can like do cool stuff like retire and enjoy their later years.
Yeah, God forbid.
Speaking of Christy McNichol, I recently rewatched Little Darlings with her and Tatum O'Neal.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Movies like that anymore.
Is it? I'm trying to figure out Pinsor's mustache. It's glorious.
I think it's like a blondish red color.
Yeah, it's very strawberry blonde, which is like very Nicole Kidman. So I got the damn, butterflyer. God, I hate that stupid thing. Shira.
Oh my God! I am still trying to find my butterflyer to buy. Like, I've got my eyes on a couple that are mint in box, but they're just a little out of my price range. And that's one of the ones where if you watch it every so often, a mint in box one will show up for a really good price. It's the same with Enchanta. Like, I need an Enchanta. And I'll find one that's almost perfect for the right price. But it will be missing like a piece, like one of the combs will be missing, or like the pink fluffy fur on it looks super ratty, and I'm like, no, everything else is. Or the bridle will have like the holographic stickers peeling off.
That's where I'm at. Like, I sort of made that mistake with, I had the Crystal Castle. I've sold it since. I had it for probably, I don't know, 10 years or so, but it's like, I got a good deal on like a lot of it,
Yeah,
but the pieces that I was missing were very expensive. So it
yeah,
didn't really matter what kind of deal I got. Like, it was like the matter
yeah,
between like the shipping, the tracking down, the actual like, and I love a buy it now on eBay, but this was like, I had to bid on like the pillow and like all these stupid little things, like the butterfly clip on her bed and all. Like there's so
yeah,
many little things. So and then I get it. I'm like, this smells like mold. It's just like this like 40-year-old sponge with bad taffeta
yeah.
over top. I'm like, oh, like this is like awful.
Yeah,
Like,
when I had to repurchase mine, because that was one of the things that was lost in the flooding back home where my storage was my vintage Crystal Castle. But about 15 years ago, I repurchased it. And I'd been going back and forth, and there was a lot that had everything, and it was all in good shape. And there were a bunch of dolls and accessories that came with it. And it was like $500 and like 2012 money, right? Yeah, it was 2012. So not quite 15 years, but close. And I was like, I'm just gonna bite the bullet. It's way more than I should spend, but whatever, right? And like I didn't pay attention to all the, like the random dolls and stuff that came with it. And it got here, and it was like I was happy, and I'm going through the dolls, and I'm like, wow, this pink shield, this is an actual Spinnerella shield.
oh
Like
damn.
an actual. I'm like, oh wow, this isn't Starburst She-Ra, this is Bubble Power She-Ra. Oh look, her shield, her crown, her shield. So,
Yes, there's actually goodies in
oh,
there. So
this is part of the Shower Power Catra wand. Oh wow, this is the bridle for Silver Storm. So there's some pieces in there that like are super spendy if I had bought them, alone. So it ended up being, I mean, the Spinnerella shield alone, like I've seen that sell for $200-300, which is ridiculous for a shield, but whatever.
yeah.
So anyway, it ended up being worth the $500, and then I finally through Adam She-Ra got the accessories that were missing. I've got the girdle thing that she wears, her cape. And the bubble wand came this week. Because I originally didn't buy the bubble wand. I'm like, I don't need it. And then I was looking at her. I'm like, I need it. So luckily he had them still.
Yeah, his stuff is so good. Like
So
I got the Spinnerella kits back when I had that vintage She-Ra line and kind of thing, and it's like I basically, yeah, I took like the
yeah,
Flutterina. It's literally just the top. Like I didn't bother with the her
yeah,
undercarriage, as it were. Um, and I'm not a good painter, and this was like dollar store paint kind of thing, and then
yeah,
literally like a pink highlighter to her hair to sort of give her the streaks. That was it, and it was like, and she looked really good. It's
yeah,
like all things considered.
yeah. I've got a Flutterina that I repainted her. I need to reroute the hair. So I have the correct hair composition for her, and I need to. That'll be something probably this year. That once I get everything in the cases, I can then okay, now project. And for all of you guys watching, I will probably film rerouting a She-Ra head.
Mhm.
I've
Yeah,
I've heard that too, Alex. I don't know if that's true or not.
I think it's that thing where like they were going back for season 3. They'd gotten rid of like the dramatic Roddenberry lawyer who kind of made season 2 unbearable and
Right.
fired Conning. And then they were coming back for season 3, and things were actually starting to like they clicked immediately in season 3. But like Stewart was like, no, 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 like
Right.
we gotta go this time.
You gotta feel bad for the actress who played Pulaski. Like, she's a good actress. She just kept. She also was in a show called A Day in the Life. that had aired on NBC where it was a mini series and then it turned into a show, and in the mini series it's this family and all the adult kids, and one of the daughter moves home with like her kids, and it's Amanda Peterson from Can't Buy Me Love, R.I.P. Amanda Peterson. Sarah Jessica Parker is on it. She's like the girlfriend / fiance of one of the sons, and like sort of like 80s all-star cast before they were stars. And in it, the patriarch of the like the mom dies as part of the year in the life. And then when they bring it back, like the actress who plays Pulaski is like the new girlfriend character, and it's like, yeah, like sorry, but and then after that was Star Trek and LA Law, and I'm like, she just can't win for losing.
No, she was in the original series too. She played like a pretty. The episode was not great, but I mean, like her role was pretty good in it. So she had some like Star Trek pedigree.
Yeah. But at least with Pulaski, they didn't kill her though.
No, I think they sort of mentioned her one-off early in season 3, and then never again. Just never again.
I feel like that's a character that they I don't know if she still acts, but she would be someone I think in this day and age that they could bring back in some capacity. Like even if it's just like an episode or two. Like I feel like there's some good story to be had. She just had the misfortune of being brought in to replace, Beverly, and it's like, how do you replace Dr. Crusher? Like, she had chemistry with everyone.
She was playing Dr. McCoy too, like just.
Yep.
Just Dr. McCoy. So there's that problem too, where you're like, well, we have Dr. McCoy.
Yeah, right. And like, and it makes sense. You don't want her to come in and just treat her like she's kind of a recast, but with a new name for Crusher.
Yeah.
So, like it's a difficult situation.
Also, Crusher kind of got like, I mean, she got jerked around too, because they're like, it was a big Poochie thing where like she's like off screen. They're like, she went to work for Starfleet Medical or something.
Yeah.
You're like, I have to go back to my home planet now. So long.
Bye. Yeah. There we go. My health. Well, it was just Spinnerella's low numbers 100% as she was the end of the toy line, so they just went out fewer. Bubble Power She-Ra and Shower Power Catcher went out in pretty huge numbers, which is why you can still find those pretty. I mean, they're expensive, but you can still find them mint on card, cheaper, about the same price as a loose complete. Uncarded Spinnerella, but it's just Natasa went out in higher numbers as well. I never saw Spinnerella as a kid in stores. I saw Natasa. But Spinnerella, I've never seen a Spinnerella US card. I've only ever seen bilingual cards for her, which doesn't mean that they don't exist, but I don't think she got much release in the United States. So, yep. Same, Alex. And, frankly, even if they didn't do like a full Princess of Power or Origins line, I would have been happy if they had just done like Wave 3 and the Star Sisters. Like, give us the characters we didn't get in that scale.
Yeah.
Even if it had been Mattel Creations exclusives, like.
Or at least, like, I mean, that was the thing too. I was expecting, it was probably via Cartoon Collection. I was expecting at least like sort of like the Wave 1 crew last year.
Yeah.
Like we already had Frosto and what have you, but it would get like Casaspella, Angela, maybe Double Trouble. You could probably throw in like Adora in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But like, no, like no.
Well, they didn't even
and so that's why this year's nothing, because I mean we got a movie coming, so
right.
Even Masters like stuff. I if you're waiting for that, too bad. This ain't your year.
Too bad will probably be this year because we'll do about 4 of the like they just really like the Great Black Wizard just came out. and he's got blast attack legs. And they said at San Diego Comic-Con like a year or two ago, the Too Bad is sculpted. The vintage Too Bad is sculpted. It's the releasing of him. And so my guess is either he will be a retailer's exclusive this year, sort of like Modulok and Multibot were, or he'll be. I do think Too Bad is a big enough character though that they are probably holding him as a retailer exclusive. Like he's somebody you could release through Target or Walmart, because he's got enough.
Like he was early enough in the line to be like one of the heavies.
Well, and popular enough, right? And they didn't do They did the cartoon collection Too Bad as like the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. So like, you know, and at some point I would assume we'll get sketchbook series Too Bad. Like he's an you know, and then they're doing 2000 and X, so like it would be really easy for them to do a second, 2000 and X, Tuvar and Badra, as well as Too Bad figures.
Oh, he was big. Like
yeah, he's of all the characters they haven't done, he's the biggest, and they now have most of the tooling to do the vintage figure. But again, like I think, like that's the one I think that will end the sort of vintageness of it. And this would be a good year for it. I think, again, it's going to depend on how the movie does. If the movie does well and brings a lot of new fans, then we'll get Too Bad this year.
But that's, I mean, they're also kind of like playing with that too, where they're like, once these kids get Too Bad, they're like, I'm out. They just walk away.
Right, but that's part of the thing, right? There's a lot of people who only want vintage stuff who will stop collecting, but if the movie hits big and they get this new audience and this new wave of nostalgia, then it would make, and then we'll get more sketchbook series stuff. We'll get more He-Man and Skeletor sketchbook series stuff. Like,
like the movie could be big, but is it going to translate into toy sales? No, because this isn't 1984. Like, I don't know what they're expecting here.
I don't think anyone. Like it's not going to. But I don't think they expect big toy sales the way we expect big toys. Like I think they expect there will be a big push. They'll have a great year. The movie toys will sell. It'll bring some kids in. It'll bring a bunch of. I do think there are a lot of people who have stopped, who were in with Origins and Masterverse who sort of walked away. I think the movie will bring a bunch of people back because that's how nostalgia works, right? The new movie comes out, they hate it. People are like, I just want stuff based on the vintage toys. So they'll want. Yeah. And then we get, Lords of Power. We get All Color Collection where it's like He-Man, like Ular.
Honestly, like if they did, that's what I wanted. That's what I thought based off of that very first box set
and for me, that and like Princess of Power is where my disappointment with Origins has been. Is like I love the sketchbook series stuff. This is the stuff we should have been getting in the main line though, instead of from the get-go. And like it's cool that we're getting Cartoon Collection 2000X Evil, and I say she's out, but she's on my pile of loot waiting. It's cool that they released, then they did a 2000X Evil in like in the first year, but it was just color scheme. It wasn't the actual like pieces for Evil in. Like it was just a recolor. And I think
I don't know, like at least with 2000X, it seems like they're doing like pretty dedicated sculpts.
Yeah, the sculpts are good.
The bodies are different, which they'll probably do some reuse there kind of. But I mean, like you can tell they've actually put some money and attention into that kind of versus like constant reuse, which is baked into. But like, when it comes to like, Alcala. I mean, I remember the first box set came out, and I was like, this is fun. And then they went to very vintage toy, which I'm like, understandable. But I'm like, I want those first 2 or 3.
But the Origins was supposed to be like all of it. It was supposed to be Alcala. It was supposed to be. I think part of what killed it was that the Naked Stratos wave, right? It's like you've got
Yeah,
Jitsu, you've got Buzz Off, you've got the Sorceress, you've got Mini Comics Stratos, which is in theory Alcala Stratos. It was just over ordered, like, and that's the problem. Is like Jitsu makes perfect sense, vintage character. Buzz Off, vintage character. You have Sorceress, who is like one of the last figures released in the vintage line, super expensive. People want that.
heavy, like.
And then you've got Mini Comic Stratos, who's essentially Alcala, except the wrong feet. And so not only, but then the wave sat because everyone overordered it. But at the other point, instead of just having Stratos be a straight up repaint and like the mini comic colors, they should have actually at that point invested in doing those monster feats that Alcala drew. Like the actual, instead of like the booty feet from the vintage toy line. But that's your new, that's the, introduce those feet, that boot at that point as a new sculpt, and that's all you would have needed. You could have re-released that Stratos exactly as is and just put those new feet on there, and people would have hated the Naked Stratos way less than they did. It would have been more popular. So
I could let that go kind of thing, but it's like, it's more, like I want the Blontila. I want the arms with like the furry cape. I want like He-Man with like the scabbard kind of thing, like the sort of like barbarian.
and this
Like I
is
wanted.
so easy to repaint, right?
They
Like
are.
Scabbard He-Man, like Ular He-Man. It's like literally it's the scabbard.
Yeah.
That's it. Like that's Alcala He-Man. Alcala Skeletor, they've given us the head sculpt so many times. You just put him on an actual card you can get at regular retail without a box set or some special edition or Mattel creation. And in my humble opinion, Mattel's biggest mistake from day one was the way they did Teela. Not the sculpt of Teela. The armor, like her boob armor and that should have all been a removable piece, like originally intended by Mark Taylor, where underneath she just like the cartoon collection Teela is.
Yeah,
like that was the original plan, and if they had done that, then they would have had a generic female buck, and it would be really easy to do Alcala Teela, Battleground Teela, And they just, for whatever reason, didn't. They could have done so many, and I think a big part of why they didn't do a lot of women figures outside of Teela and Evil and repaints is the tooling of it. And I think if they had just done that one subtle thing, they could have given us a lot. They could have given us Stratos' wife, Delora from the mini comic, where she's basically just a woman in a skirt.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Well, even like, not to give classics too much, credit kind of thing, but it's like, Teela was not the most articulated thing, but like they kind of built stuff in pretty early. Like, granted, like that Teela buck got a lot of use going forwards, just because she is like so repeatable, but like it was all there, and it remains.
There are a lot of things about the classics line I don't like, and I don't think as a toy line, some of it's. I think a lot of the plastic is not good.
It's terrifying. Terrifying. Look back here.
As I've been unboxing mine, a lot of my classic stuff is sticky. It's got that sticky plastic breakdown because the quality and the type of plastic.
Well, it's also 20 years old, and maybe not 20, but like I'm getting there. Like it's really.
It is, but at the same time, like I've got vintage Kenner Star Wars that's less sticky. That's almost 50 years old now. That's been stored in the exact same quality.
Yeah, it's where's gray? Or wait, what color their antenna? It changes. Gold.
It looks like gold on the samples I have pulled up for Dargon. It looks like and the vintage ones look like it also uses a gold plastic.
Yeah,
Laura has gold plastic. Let's see. So yeah, it looks like a gold color.
That was like, I mean, that was part of the problem too with the Origins line is that are we talking about toys on this toy channel today?
I know
God.
this is the first time in forever we've stuck to toys. What's happening? Maybe people showed up expecting us to be messy or disappointed today.
Well, don't worry. This is like, I mean, this is just water and G, so like it's gonna get real messy real
That's
quick.
probably what it is. And this is just coffee, so.
Yeah, Derek's wife gave me this. Hell of a woman. Shauna, love you. But what was it? Yeah, like the vintage line, or the Origins line came out. So I was the first. I'm like, you lost me on the no Alcala, and then I did pick up the Tila, and between the knees and the kind of boring face and the boring hair, I was like, no, I'm good. And then so it wasn't until Cartoon Collection came out, and I was like, kind of dig this actually. So
Well, that's the second mistake. And it's sort of a long-term mistake with Origins. You know, because originally even He-Man and Skeletor had different heads. And then they quickly pivoted and gave them more vintage heads. But they never gave... And we never got an Evelyn or Tila vintage head. And I feel like for Tila especially, like, I've got like two of them over there.
They look like play school toys. And so like they just, yeah, I never really, and it's that if you lose me at those two, I'm done. So that's where like Cartoon Collection kind of got me. Because I mean, those two were spectacular.
Yeah.
So here we are.
And the thing is with the Tila, the Origins Tila, like it's not a bad face sculpt at all. It's actually a really cute face. The problem is it just doesn't look like Tila.
Yeah, it's cute. Like that's it. It's just cute.
You know, like that face sculpt is perfect for like, you know, like I've reused it for customs a couple of times, and there are a lot of good characters you can get out of it, but it just doesn't quite. And I say, like one of the customs I did, I just went in and gave her, I got in there with a fine line acrylic black marker and like darkened her eyelashes and gave her much redder lips and blushed her a little bit, and it's a completely different. So it's not necessarily even the sculpt; it's sort of the paint app of it all. They made her a little too plain, and the vintage Tila is not plain. The vintage Tila is like very pretty. She's almost got like a Barbie face.
Yeah, like you look back. I mean, the costume is quite detailed and quite like crisp kind of thing, but like the face is like in the variations on the face. But I mean, like she's hot. Like I mean, that's like one of the best looking women figures from the early 80s.
Her face is very like OG Barbie. Like that original 50s Barbie face is sort of looks like what they based her on.
Especially when you get like Princess Allura from Voltron or Scarlet or any of these kind of things, and you're like, woof. Like, woof.
Scarlet's a total. I hate to talk about women's appearances this way, but the vintage Scarlet was a total
dog show. God. And CoverGirl.
Just redid the O-ring on my vintage Lady Jane. I'm like, wow, this is the first Michael Myers from Halloween figure.
I mean, she was better. Not much. It wasn't until Baroness we were like, okay, that's.
Well, what's funny is Baroness was between the two, so it's like.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. She was the fourth released, and you were like, why is this the best one?
CoverGirl's also not great.
No.
That's why whenever the new CoverGirl came out, everyone was like, she looks terrible. It's like, you guys have seen the vintage.
Yeah, you've seen her.
Right? You've seen OG Courtney, right? Okay.
Yeah. That said, the CoverGirl they made for the 30th anniversary line, it's really great. Like she's got like one of the best hair in action figures kind of thing. So I mean, like,
well, I have the G.I. Joe movie CoverGirl, right? And she is hideous, and like that actress was super pretty. Like we're talking Power of the Force 2. Yeah, she was an actual model. We're talking Power of the Force 2 Leia face sculpt on that one. I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah, like, and it's for like, you know, the most attractive, beautiful G.I. Joe. Literally, that's her shtick. She was a runway model, a mechanic. You're like, why do you keep doing her so dirty? Like, who hates her?
Well, and that's the one thing. Like everyone's like, oh, like terrible Joan Rivers face. I'm like, but that at least makes sense, right? Like that's at
Yeah.
least model-esque what the classified one looked like.
Mhm.
I got the retro
Version 2 is
collection
very,
ones, which
they did
she's
kind
a
of
lot
girl next door.
better.
She's just, it's a gorgeous figure. It's very like girl next door, kind of like
Yeah.
America's sweetheart kind of thing, which is like, again, not really the brief, but I get why people prefer that one to the original.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get another one and then get a couple. There's people online who sell like sort of extra bodies, the customizers basically. And I'm gonna pick
Yeah.
up some extra. Actually, I don't even necessarily because I have a bunch of the movie, the Snake Eyes Origins Baroness, and a bunch of the Snake Eyes Origins Scarlets, because those were ridiculously cheap at one point.
Yep.
And I might just pop some of the extra heads on those and then go and sort of
I
do
mean,
some
like,
paint decos and have them as various
what
different characters.
I've seen people use like Black Widow heads on the original cover girl, and it's like it's
Mhm.
night and day. Like it
Yeah.
is something.
And so I might, I might. It's more about whether I get time because that's why I bought those extra bodies. Well, those extra Scarlets and Baronesses was to use them that way.
Because the figures were not good. So
They're not as bad as people act like they were. I mean, again,
and
this is comparing them to the vintage, and even the sort of 25th anniversary figures. I recently popped those out and was looking at them, and
yeah,
those are
they don't
also
age that.
not like that 25th anniversary Baroness is not a fun toy.
No, because I remember when those came out, I was like, "This is it. I've been waiting for this line forever." And then I got the two 5 packs with the
Yeah.
the logo, the music, and it's like it's one pack, but I mean, like they're all kind of janky. And not Cobra, like was it Bella versus Venom janky, but like there's just something like the way their limbs hang was really awkward, and it was hard to manage. And it's something where I'm like, "Oh,
They,
like
it,
from the jump, this is not it." Like,
well, for me, like, especially looking at the Scarlet, it's like, for me, it's twofold. One, it's like they're trying to sort of do updated modern posing or whatever with them. But
hmm.
also they look too cartoony. So it's like they're trying to, it felt
Yeah,
like
she
to
was
me
very
what they were, it's like they were trying to do Sunbow and Real American Hero toy line. And it's like you can, like, the two things are so different, you can't,
yeah, you do one good or you do both bad, but like you
right.
can't have. And that's yeah, I found like her especially like most of the characters had I wouldn't say realistic for like for the paint for the for the capability they had at the time. They went for
Mhm.
like a bit of realism, but like yeah, she especially was very anime, even more than Baroness. And I'm like, what
Yeah.
are you doing? What is
Yeah, just
the visual medium here?
it's like I have the Scarlet, the Baroness. Actually, no, I didn't get the Baroness. I got the movie Baroness because the movie Baroness figure is, in my opinion, like what the 25th anniversary Baroness should have looked like because the costume's on point. The actress, they made her look like Baroness. Like, despite how unexciting that movie is, like they at least got the, in my opinion, the look of the Baroness correct. And hello, Paul Galliano, aka Hella Geek.
Which
Um,
is
I enjoy it as well, actually. Like, I get why people don't like it, but again, the people who are dogging on it, it's like, again, peeps, look at the original vintage figure that came with the Wolverine. She looks like your
no,
mom who had just had a bad day and like 6 cigarettes because the cake and the souffle both went flat.
yeah,
And
she's like,
she's
I
out of
told you.
cooking cherry that she says she can't do shots to take the edge off.
There's
I
also
just
like her and I think this is where like Baroness and Lady J kind of fix things, but I mean like they and again too like this is where I kind of talk about with my upcoming Ula video that I'll have to edit some point, but they didn't want to make them too sexy, of course, but I mean like they also had like bad hot dog bodies, and so by the time you actually got to like
mhm,
Lady J and Baroness, you were like, okay, those are identifiable breasts. That's a waistline. Okay, like we're at
yeah,
least working within the realm of possibility here.
yeah. Yeah, I don't. It's weird. Again, like as a kid, I was glad that there were the ladies. It gave me a reason to buy GI Joe.
Yeah.
But
Also,
it was also sort of like crumbs.
yeah, like Scarlet without a ponytail. I was like, you bastards! Like I was. That's. I'm still mad about it. I'm getting flustered about it. I'm like, you bastard! And that's where like when Super Seven's sort of going like, oh, here's our checklist of the Reaction Plus figures that we got going. I'm like, you know what I want? Like, give me
Yeah.
the ponytail. I don't care if it's vinyl. I don't care if it's plastic. Give it to me. Just do it. Don't give me
Well,
this winter gear Scarlet. Like,
the Ninja Force Scarlet they did with that weird plastic horsehair.
I I had to mod that heavily and put that on the like the version 1 Scarlet, but it's like it looks good. You have to take away her chin completely. Like the underside of her chin has to go, but like
Yeah.
if you stand her down, it will go on there. And I'm like, the face looks good, the paint is nice, and she's got a ponytail. Happy as a clam.
I remember as a kid getting the Zanzibar and being like, what is this weird horsehair?
Yeah, that's season 1. The first series of Ninja Force would do that, and I was like, what are we doing? Like, what is this? Is this what boys want? Is this what boys
Yeah.
want?
We need the weird plastic hair.
We need ponytails for everybody. And I was like, what is happening? Like, and that's, I mean, that was when JoJo was really going through like the identity crisis where they're like, space monsters? Question mark? Like, it was a
Space
wild.
Martians. We've already got ninjas. Let's do more ninjas. People love ninjas,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And then the comics calls. Actually, those comics were great. They were done in that very kind of like Rob Liefeld kind of
Yeah.
style at the time where like everyone, even in jeans, had like the 90s long butt with jeans right up to your
Yeah.
actual hips, or your waist rather, and just like legs and scratchy marks and just boobs that don't make sense. And I was like, yeah,
I
G.I.
will
Joe's 90s.
say, despite sort of the WTF of it all, my brother was very much sort of the martial arts person. I mean, like he used to teach taekwondo and kickboxing. Thanks, Jean-Claude Van Damme. But so he, instead of growing out of G.I. Joe, grew out of any G.I. Joe that wasn't ninjas and martial arts. So it kind of, and he went really hard on turtles, of course, because of the age.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
he
that's
definitely,
like you're either the very beginning, which it's like hyper militaristic, or the
yeah,
middle where it's a little iffy, or the end where it's like wackadoo, and you sort of follow those camps of when you
yeah.
discovered it. That's the thing with Star Wars too. I mean, there's people that like the prequels, and I'm like, get your head examined. But I mean, they grew up on that, so
Yeah.
fine.
Well, and the first time I experienced the prequel thing was whenever they released the Star Wars, Phantom Menace 3D, right? So I had a friend, and she's like, I want somebody to go with me to see, and I saw that movie because I see every Star Wars movie at the theater 7 times. So I was going anyway, right? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go. And she's, like, she was like 22 at the time. And she had been like 10 when the prequels came out, the first one. And she was like, oh my God, I love Jar Jar Binks. I love these movies. Like, I used to watch them on VHS every day after elementary school. And
Wow. That's
and we're sitting, so I go see it with her, and the whole time, every time Jar Jar comes on, she's like delighted. Oh my God, Jar Jar loves Jar Jar Binks.
I guess if
And
you're
yeah,
like, this is racist, just so you know. Like, this is
and I
all
just,
of this.
it was weird, but it opened my eyes and made me realize it's like, wait, she was a kid. This is her Star Wars. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
and that's why it was a little bit easier with the sequels, like when they didn't quite land for me as much as I wish they would have. My niece was 8 to 10 when they came out. She had Ray. I sent her Ray dolls for a couple of years. Why? Because Ray is her favorite Star Wars character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? Because when she was 8 to 10, like, here's a girl kicking butt on a movie, So I
Yeah,
just,
and Yeah, sort of like this isn't for me, and not everything has to be for me. But
And I think, but it was really good, to have that experience with the Phantom Menace, and then a couple of years later have, the situation with the sequels where it's like, even though it's not quite landing for me, like the kids need kids need stuff for them, like,
mhm.
and that's kind of, like even though the new She-Ra, like it didn't quite land for me. I enjoyed them, but I didn't love it. Like I wanted to love the new She-Ra.
Yeah, it was a little too. It was of the time with that Steven
It's very
Universe
much
kind of.
of the time. But what's interesting is when you go online and look at sort of what people who are of the age that it was intended for, it's like there's all this fan art. Like they
It's
love
so
it. They've
much.
got fan
Like I would
fiction. Like,
look up images for videos, like for like
mhm.
Shadow Weavers or that kind of thing, and it's like I would have to sift through all of that series just to find like a grainy image to
Yeah,
fix up.
it's really hard
And
doing any Catra research without coming
oh,
across.
fan fiction, like
Yeah,
erotic fan fiction. Yeah, like it's a
yeah,
lot.
like
It's a
it's
lot.
and and again, like so
It was like a
anytime
rivalry at the time. Like,
and I caught on to that really early into it because it was right before and then right during sort of lockdown that show hit. So I was,
oh, I guess
like way more online than I would have been otherwise. So I really got to see that develop and sort of
I just didn't think they would do it, so that's where I was coming from. Because I mean, like you didn't do that on cartoons, so like it's a funny thing where
yeah,
all these people are like they're like shipping them, and I'm like, grow up, like they're never gonna do this. And then like even season two, I'm like, are they? And then by the end of the series,
they
they're
did
like,
it. Yeah.
we all gay, like, everybody's gay.
Yeah.
Your mom, gay. Like, I was like, damn, like this went hard.
And of course, there's a whole section of fandom who hates the show because of that.
Yeah,
But at the same time, the people who really love it, that's why they love it because it's their She-Ra, like, and I think I think that's good. Like, it means in 20 years, all those people will get mad too. Um, when the new She-Ra hits, and they're like, "This isn't my She-Ra. My She-Ra was more gay than this is." Um,
I want Bull Dagger Dyke Shira. What is this sexy
yeah, right.
shit?
And people are all like, it's funny the She-Ra thing to me because like there are people who are like, "No, the only ship for She-Ra is Seahawk," and I'm like, "Bitch, it's Bo." Because in the toy line, Bo is She-Ra's special friend.
Special friend. At the same time, I'm like, Bo and Prince Adam had a weird thing that
In the
I
cartoon, yes. In the
like talk
cartoon, yes. Filmation, but Filmation is not my primary canon. Mine is the toy line and Wave One mini comics, where
I
Bo
mean, he
was
was
the
the only
love interest.
planet. So I mean, like he was like, he's like, I got my pick of the litter, and I'm going for She-Ra. And you're like, I get it, I get it. As someone who's outrageously attractive, I get it. Like, take
It's
your pick,
funny
buddy.
that they did sort of tone that down in the toy line. It's and again, Strawberry Shortcake's like that as well, because early on they sort of present Huckleberry Pie as almost a love interest.
I don't love that.
And then they
Like,
completely sort of push that out by like 83, like that's
it's
just
the same.
completely gone.
Rainbow Bright. I don't know if it was like the red dude, but it was also like in the movie there
Red
was some other
Butler.
guy. There's the dude, the hot, like the bad guy, like the bad boy. But these
Yeah.
were like toddlers, and it's like I'm like, I don't want to see
Yeah, Rainbow
toddlers.
Bright very much were little kids. Like they were little kids who had been like drawn in, whereas
It's weird. It's weird, man. I don't want to think about it. It's
yeah,
like,
like the Rainbow Bright one is but for yeah, for Strawberry Shortcake, it's interesting because there is a lot of the early media. And when I post shorts for I posted a short of Strawberry Shortcake for Valentine's Day a few years ago from one of the coloring books where it's her and him together and there's a big heart behind them. And I got comments where people were like, "No, we don't like this."
no, just hard no.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
you're wrong. You should feel bad about your choices.
Yeah, right. And it's, and the problem, sort of the problem I kind of run into sometimes is I mean, obviously, I make content for people to enjoy, but also a big part of. Oh, I just lost my phone. Oh, we are almost at the 2-hour mark. That makes sense. All right, let me fix that really quick.
Also, tomorrow, window.
All right, let's see. But you know, it's funny again. Yeah, like I post obviously so people enjoy, but also a portion of it is just trying to get the history out there. And like this is part of the history of the toy line, guys, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, I get a lot of hate mail on that kind of stuff where I'm like, well, sorry about it.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to be.
I'm not trying to ruin your childhood, but let's just look at facts here. Okay, we got like what, like 8 minutes? I'm gonna do the sky like the most
Yeah,
ugly,
we got 8 minutes.
hateful sky.
All right.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I spent so much time on Dragonflyer's his body. He's obsessed with like the Coleco shading of the toys, and I'm like, I have to use 47 layers of blue on every single piece of armor, and I'm like, no, I don't. No, I
Oh
don't.
wait, just a second.
Here we go.
Yeah.
And I spent part of my time on Sectaurs mustache too, which is very Man-at-Arms coded, but alas, I did not manage my time well today. Is she still there or no? Okay.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm trying to fix the phone, and
So
to do
anyway, well,
you would be looking right up my nose.
while she has technical difficulties, I will tell you about that time the birthday clown came and touched me. So buckle up. There was a He-Man Shiro PSA about that.
Oh my, there was like.
There really was actually. Like, and the weird thing is, like in that PSA, it's like He-Man and She-Ra are like, like if this happened, go talk to your like priest or rabbi about it. And I'm like, maybe don't. Even at the time, I was an altar boy. I'm like, don't you dare go to those people. And that's what people come here for. That kind of content.
Right?
Yeah, the trauma content. You came for Sectaurs and we fooled you. God damn it. Okay, this is gonna be the ugliest guy ever, but it's for the gram. It's for the gram. I gotta finish this thing.
Do it. Do it.
I spent so much time on iridescent holographic wings. God damn it. Anyway,
We all have
enough
our
stress.
things.
Yeah, we all have the hills to die on, and giant dragonfly wings was, if that's the most stressful part of my day, then I'm doing pretty good. Okay, this is mildly embarrassing. But I'm committed because y'all got some other live streams to get to because there are.
It's true. We're almost done.
It's kind of the funny thing. I've actually got a friend who's at a toy show now, and he's texting. He's all like, "Do you have this? Do you need this?" I'm like, "Yes, no, maybe."
We
And
need
so I am
it
kind
all,
of
squad.
well, that's the funny thing too. It's like it's hard to. Um, God, this is terrible. It's hard to say like, "Get me a Destro," and it's like that is such a loaded question because I've gotten like 7 pictures of Destros. I'm like, not that one, not that one.
Not that one, guys.
Like, no, the one is Winter Jacket. God, it feels very Malibu Barbie. Like, she's in the wrong hat. Like,
No, that's
oh,
all right.
my failed marriage. Joe, Dr. Colossus, Steve Austin.
All right, there we go. Oh, I hate
All
sharing
right.
it right now. There we go.
Right now.
Hello? All right.
Hello. Okay. We good?
Yeah, StreamYard is just being StreamYard. And
The
so,
StreamYardiest thing it ever was.
yeah, there's a lot of reasons I hate it these days.
Mhm.
All right. Hello, Rowdy Riles. Welcome. Make sure I didn't miss any. Oh, there we go. And hello,
There it is.
Yimbo Reviews. Lovely to see you today. I did
Good.
not. It's just at 2 hours it starts because of the amount of energy that StreamYard sucks up. It dies.
I guess they need their own data center. Is that what I'm hearing? Like,
Something.
let's kill some water and get that StreamYard going.
Yep, pretty much. Gotta love StreamYard though. All right, let's see. Get back to the bottom.
All right.
All right. Excellent.
Okay, this is actually turning out okay. I
Yeah,
stressed
no,
out. You all saw me just completely crumble
let me
for no
see where
reason.
you're at.
Okay, so we're doing. I got actual natural light here today, which is not great. You can't even see the sky. So
Oh, I'm
it's,
gonna
yeah.
embiggen you. Wait, let me embiggen you.
Um.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Pinkish.
No, that looks
Yeah.
really good. You even
thank
got
you.
the eyes.
I learned about iridescent coloring today, and I am a better person for it.
It's true.
But the sky I would like to make better. However, not today. Not today.
Not today. Well, you know, it takes a while. I mean, I'm still slow on these and I'm fast, so.
Like I do this for a living, okay? Like,
Well, it is funny because like I've been going through and because I have files from years ago. I'm like, do I really need 17 videos of me coloring this in actual time? No.
maybe not. That would be.
But
I mean, it would be a nice thing to nap to. Like you just sort of like you just hear that kind of the scribbling thing. You just leave it on for
right.
2 hours. I have I guess there's a host who's on probably 5 or 6 different channels right now. They're all just like sort of like info dump channels kind of thing, and it's like he's got like that British voice where if it's like Saturday afternoon, I want to take a nap, I'll just flip that on. Hope I learn something through osmosis. But I mean, I'm just like I'm out, and I don't want to make that comment on his videos. I'm like, I napped to you. Thank you so much for your soothing
right.
voice. You are so boring. I just fully pass out and leave this earth for a couple hours.
I fell asleep the other night during Kenzo's stream, and it was not that it was boring. It was just I was so tired.
Kenzo, we're coming for him. I'm clipping this and sending it to you.
Oh, I commented. Sorry, I fell asleep replaying. And he was like, "Oh, I guess I was that exciting." I'm like, "No, just tired."
Admittedly, during these streams when I'm not on it, I usually do actually take a nap, so busted.
My day job is in insurance, and this is a busy time of the year under normal circumstances for insurance. This year it's a little extra, but most years it's super busy where it's just good luck getting through to anybody. And
Yeah.
So
well, this is for like all the big wigs who are like, oh, I need to like put all the stuff through insurance all at once, and it's like thousands of dollars. And you're like, you could have done that at any time during the year.
Well, not only that, but here in the States, everyone's policy resets on January 1st.
Oh, right. Yeah, that.
So not only that, you have to recheck benefits. People are also starting to get ready for taxes. So if something didn't pay, my clients are like, you need to find out why these 40 visits for 40 different patients from last year didn't pay. And spoiler alert, half the time they've cashed the check already. They just have bad accounting.
My one piece of advice is just to commit tax fraud or not do them. So that's what I'm here to teach. I'm here to let the kids know.
Ironically, I've at least 2 or 3 times last year had to stop a couple clients from committing fraud. It's like, no, that's fraud.
They're
Really?
like, no, but
Yeah, no,
no,
really,
no.
really.
Yeah.
Let me do what you pay me for and not let you get sued, because we just had this conversation. So if you get sued and they query the records, this is part of the records, and I will have to testify that I told you not to do this.
Yeah, I don't want to go to court, so there's that.
I mean, I would get a paid day for it, obviously.
I don't know. I had jury duty recently, and I was like, I would rather be at work. That's how bad it
Oh
was.
my god, I
So,
love. I'm a freak though. I love jury duty. I
I've
never
done
get
it
paid
twice.
for it.
Time was like the 2 times I was like I was only up for consideration, but both of them were like the most like high profile, high violence crimes, which in Canada
Yeah.
is, not much. Like, but still, I was like,
What did
I
somebody
don't.
say? That somebody said, what's this all about?" And then they got slapped. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, the first one was like something about like Hell's Angels and like bazookas, and I was
Huh?
like, okay. Um, but I was like, I don't really want my face on TV with Hell's Angels.
Yeah, that's a
Just
good
being,
point.
just putting it out there, like not interested in this.
I got called one time for a murder trial, and I know I didn't get picked because they're like, "What is your opinion on the death penalty?" I'm like, conflicted. And they're like, "How so?" I'm like, well, it's obviously not fairly implicated for all people, and there are instances of people being wrongfully put to death. But sometimes you just have to put a dog down. So I
Yeah,
did not get picked for that one.
I'm more like they're like for like white collar crime, death. For
Yeah,
everything
right.
else, like that's where I'm at.
How many people's in life insurance retirement did he sue? Death.
Yeah,
But
that's the only way to learn. It's the only way to learn. That's a
but
real gold.
so I didn't get picked for that one because, I guess their client was afraid that if he was found guilty, I would. But like I live in a state where like it's on moratorium, so it's not like even if they start working their way through the backlog, people who are found guilty of it, who during this phase that we're in, they wouldn't actually be put to death because of the legal status of it. So to me, it was a non-issue, but whatever. Like they get to reject certain people, and one of the other jurors, I could tell I was gonna have to hold her under a sink until she shut up. So
Yeah, that was the other problem too. I kind of did look around the room and I'm like, "Oof, this is gonna
do you
be."
want to be sequestered with these people?
Yeah, no.
No. All right, we're at 2 hours and I just finished. So we should wrap it up. Oh, I didn't turn my camera back on. Sorry, guys. Oh, we just turn it back on. All right, we're going to embiggen you really quick, Andrew, so that you can hold your page up for the people.
With my sexy bug people.
I like the eye. Like you did really good with the eye, I think.
There's many shades of blue, and that's
Yeah.
I think I spent probably about 20 minutes on that. So thank you for noticing.
No,
This is
like
5 minutes.
it stands out. It's perfect. Where can the people find you, Andrew?
Oh God, where can you find me? You can find me on my erotic fan fiction site dedicated to sectors called Heaving Thoraxes. Otherwise, I am being harassed by a dog. What? You'll look at that. I'm here on YouTube or Instagram under Katie's Toys, and I talk about lady figures. So go check that out.
Do you have didn't one just release recently that people should
Yes,
watch?
I did a bit of a year-end recap. Would have been, I think, the very last day of 2025, and that's really where I sort of not. I don't do top tens, but I'll do, um, time makes fools of us all. So sometimes we'll do a video. Not 6 months later, we have news. So this is really kind of my opportunity to sort of update
Yeah.
people on the happenings of the year, and I'll just sort of ramble about the channel and the state of things and what have you. And then the maybe next week, probably the week after, we'll see. But there's going to be a new proper edition of MIA 80s Ladies, and that'll be about Ula from Return of the Jedi, which I am excited about because she is wild.
Paul, this reminds me of something one of my exes used to say. So One of the good ones.
Noble heart and biggins us all.
So go check Andrew out, guys. If I think everyone here today subscribes. So, but if for
Probably,
some
yeah.
reason they don't, check Gady's Toys, one of my favorite channels.
Well, thanks.
Obviously, or you wouldn't be here all the time. Wait.
We secretly hate each other behind the back.
Yeah, we're like frenemies behind the scenes.
No.
Anyway, so yeah, go check Andrew out. Let's see. This week I've got a bunch of shorts because I had a bunch of stuff stockpiled that I'm trying to clear out. So there's some new stuff that I did, but some of it's older. But check it out. There's a Star Wars this week, I think, and some strawberry shortcake. So classics on the channel here. Tomorrow, what do I have tomorrow? There is some sort of full-length video tomorrow. Let's see. Tomorrow, I bet, is The Man from Atlantis.
Damn.
It is. Yeah, tomorrow is Man from Atlantis. 5 pages from the Dip Dots design book. And then next Friday will be Golden Girl Color and Chill featuring Ruby, the champion archer. And then on Saturday will be the Golden Girl Guardians of the Galaxy. All of my completed pages thus far. So it's a flip through all my Golden Girl work.
Love the Golden
And then
Girl.
I'll color one at the end. And then next Sunday I will be here with one of my Toy 2 Universe heroes. Adam from Battle Ram blog will be here. So just because he is the he makes my research look pedestrian at best. So great guy. And so we'll hang out and color some Motu next week and talk. And then also we have a retro cavalcade coming up with surprisingly special guest star Paul Galliano, aka Heligeek, everyone's favorite actor. He comes to
I
my
did
show.
hear the Allison thing. I heard the Allison 2 times today, so
Yeah. Exactly.
good days.
Me too, Alex. Me too. All right, so we'll wrap it up now that we've done all the hyping. Yeah. Thank you all for hanging out. I do appreciate you. If you're one of the olives, that's one last time. I thank you.
Bring out the olive. Bring out the olive.
And enough champagne to fill the Nile.
Much more range than actual Gal Gadot. She does act with her hair a little bit more, though. I will say that. But who doesn't? Wait. Into it. There we go. Pretty good Charlie's Angels flip in there.
I'm trying to get back to that, but
hey, Andrew only had to sit through it twice today. Ooh.
I'm thinking your role.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to head out, and we leave you, as always, with one of the most important questions of all time.
I haven't made up my mind yet. Incidentally, which one of you bitches is my mother?